breaks a part of me, something lost and never seen. Every time I start to believe, something's taken from me, from me.
We're here at the confluence of the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela Rivers, and welcome you to Acrisure Stadium on the North Shore of Pittsburgh, the home of the Steelers. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And now, your defending Super Bowl champion, Pittsburgh Steelers.
On one sideline, there's the head coach of the Browns. His guys have 2 straight home defeats to start the year and trying to find that first win out here on the road. And on the other side, the Steelers head coach. His guys come in off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans. Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen with you, the veteran Chris Boswell, getting things started. Off we go from the Steel City. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense set to take the field for the first time. They're led out by the son of the Hall of Famer out of Colorado, Deion's son, Shedeur Sanders.
It's fair to say this season hasn't gotten off to the type of start they likely envisioned for themselves, but it's still early. A win here, it could go a long way towards changing the trajectory of this entire season. But what's going to make this even more difficult today, not only the worthy opponent that they face, but having to go on the road and do it here in a hostile environment. If he is able to lead his team to a win today...
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. The linebacker, Alex Highsmith, getting in there to bring him down. His first sack of the season. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Sanders. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on 3rd down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we'll have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They're led by the man who played his college ball in Happy Valley. Greg, it's their rookie quarterback out of Penn State.
A lot of things jump off the tape when you watched last week, Mike, but it was really just the overall execution of the game plan that stuck out the most. I mean, not only did he get them in that end zone a handful of times, he protected the ball, and he routinely exploited the weaknesses that they found during the week on film. He's going to be looking to do the same thing over these next 4 quarters. If he's successful, they're going to have a shot to leave here with another win.
Right back to Warren again. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. He's able to look it in and get forward for a pickup of about 8.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains. This is one of those down and distances where the offense really could either run or pass, but give credit to the defense. They sold out to stop the run, and boy, were they right. They take them down for a loss.
That is incomplete. Oh, they elected to throw on 4th something short. It does not work out. They turn it over on down. On play action, Shador. He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. That is T.J. Watt in there to bring him down. And that's his first sack of the year. From the gun, it's Sanders. There's a short throw caught by Njoku. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with third down.
And that's a nice grab for his first catch of the game, Mike. And he's someone that the play caller has told us he wants to get him early touches, get him a feel for the game.
The pass rush gets home, and he goes down. Derek Harmon. He's in to drop him for a sack, and that will bring up fourth down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. And this is going to work out just fine. Kick goes out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The Steelers offense ready for their second possession. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Warren. And he's going to be taken down at the 17-yard line. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
They have found something on the ground. 16 more yards on that carry. They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick throw, taken in. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. They'll run straight ahead with Warren. And he's going to fight forward. Didn't get a whole lot. It's going to be enough to move the chains.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on 2nd down, knowing they had 3rd and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the first down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
Once again, it's Warren. And he'll be brought down to 45. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in on the stop.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
It is 2nd and 9.
5-yard line.
Back to throw. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. Metcalf reels it in on the right side. And they finally catch up with him, but it's a big play, taking it into the red zone. A big-time play for Pittsburgh. 39 yards.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Let's go now.
He'll drop to throw. Metcalf makes the grab again. And he'll be taken down. But we have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up 1st and goal.
Steelers first down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll look to throw yet again. That one, taken in. Touchdown, Steelers. That is 2nd TD catch of the season. And that is touchdown number 1 in the National Football
quarterback, and I think this guy's got a real bright future.
Boswell adds the extra point, and the Steelers will take a 7-0 lead. Boswell now following the touchdown, back out to kick this one off. This one taken at the 7. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. Now it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. They've had it twice and they've punted twice, still seeking that first down of the game as they begin this third drive. On first down, they'll start out with Algier. And he'll manage to get to the 33. Cameron Hayward, the former All-Pro, in on the tackle. They face second down and 7. To throw is Sanders. Here's a screen taken in by Algier. And that one's just too long to get going. They'll come up, stop him before the lineman to get out to lead the way.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him.
Sanders sacked. A loss of 8 yards. And it's 3 and out.
On comes the punter now, as he is on to punt for Cleveland. On the return, it's Austin. And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line.
At their own 37-yard line.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's going to be incomplete. And it'll leave just enough time for one final play in this opening quarter. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that will wind up incomplete. 0-0 on the clock. The first quarter has come to an end. So they'll talk over what to do on this third down play as we have hit the end of the first quarter. It's the Steelers with the early lead. And we're back to the Steel City after this. The Steelers with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. That one intercepted. That's the safety, Grant Delpit. And he's going to be brought down. What a turn of events here. He has given his guys 1st and 10 in the red zone. Come on. From the shotgun, it's Sanders. The ball comes out. The Steelers think they've got one, and they do.
That was a great play by the defense, Mike. He got a little sloppy with ball security as he leaves the pocket. They're able to knock it loose and put an end to this drive.
This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Now, faking the give. Now he's just going to pitch this one forward. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. That's over the middle and intercepted. Hit by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. We saw it earlier, the defense on the quarterback with the earlier interception. And now, Greg, not only do they pick them, they turn it into a pick six.
And, Mike, the reality is this has just been a bad first half throwing the football. I mean, not only is it his 2nd interception, but this time the defense gets their hands on the ball, and they're able to take it all the way back for the pick six.
We're all tied, 7 apiece, and the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. So we've seen from the start of the season the change in the kickoff rule, the ball coming out to the 35 instead of the 30. Greg, as you talk to folks around the league, there's been a little bit of a change philosophically in how to approach even when you kick a field goal in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think so much of the initial conversation is how does the kickoff team handle it? Do you cooch it? Do you kick it out the back of the end zone? And I think there's going to be a wide array of approach. But maybe the part that doesn't get talked about enough, Mike, is how the new kickoff rule actually changes how you play the game offensively. So think if you have the ball inside the 5-yard line, it's 4th and goal from the 3. In the old days, right, the days that we all remember where a touchback following a score, in this case a field goal try, you would kick the ball out of the back of the end zone, hopefully, and it would be a touchback, and you would lose 17 yards. Instead of on a failed 4th down from the 3, your opponent getting the ball at the 3-yard line, they would now get it 17 yards deeper at the 20, and you would get 3 points as a result. Now, all of a sudden, if you do settle for that field goal, the chances of my opponent now possessing the ball following the kickoff outside of the 30, I lose significant field position. So the idea is I'm going to go for more touchdowns inside the 5. I'm going to go for more 4th and goal situations because even if I fail, I would much rather defend my opponent when they're inside their own 5-yard line than outside of their own 30-yard line because the difference in 3 points over the course is not worth the field position.
And the play callers in the NFL are a lot like the people who play the video game. Let's go for it on 4th down. We're seeing it more, and it adds to the excitement of the NFL in 2025. On the ground, this is Warren. And they'll have it across midfield, down at the opposing 46-yard line. A gain of 16 yards. That's a Steeler 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
That's complete to Metcalf. And he's close to another 1st down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're
In trouble, and down he goes. That is Will McDonald. Gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Let's go. Complete Metcalf with the grab. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. It looks like we've got an injured Brown on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Warren. He's taken down just shy of the 10. That's 13 more on that play. And quickly, another 1st down.
Well, here he is just taking over this drive from the running back spot. And frankly, Basically, Mike, any time the secondary and defensive backs are making a lot of tackles downfield, you know the offensive line's doing their job up front, and we can see the results.
He's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 9-yard line.
That is caught, and he's in. Calvin Austin, touchdown Pittsburgh. That is the first touchdown of the new year. On for the extra point is Boswell. the Steelers will move out to a 14-7 lead.
14. Round 7. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Now return coming from the 7. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns offense getting their final instruction before heading back onto the field. They trail now 14-7 as they'll come up for 1st and 10.
Y'all gotta pump my taste. Y'all can't talk about basic. We ain't no power. I'm also dangerous. Y'all talk down
Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up 2nd down. From the gun, and he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Sanders will throw it. Complete to Cooper. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down. Here's their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Austin to return. And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting set for their next possession. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in the 1st half, it's resulted in a big play. That is borne out by those eye-popping numbers. On the ground, it's Warren to start the drive. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
That one incomplete. Good job, textbook there, separating the man from the ball, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
Here's a screen set up for Warren. 20-yard pickup there. Good for a Steeler 1st down.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the 1st down anyway.
He's not going to get too far. Tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 50-yard line.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to the Steel City after this. Here's a 2nd and 9. From the 50, he'll set him to throw. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down. Out wide to Warren. And he's going to be taken down short of the marker. That is going to set up an interesting fourth down decision.
It's fourth down.
That'll be caught. It's Metcalf. And he's going to have the first down. So taking a chance there and playing with the lead, but it works out for them.
And another great throw right there, Mike. And when you take a look at the numbers, they certainly don't lie. He has just been flat out terrific in this first half. His ability to spread the ball around, take what the defense has given him. They've certainly had a lot of success here early on.
And he'll get about 6 there, setting up second down.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense. And right now it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
This one not quite on target. Too much. That one falls incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently. Not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
They'll throw here on third and short yardage. He'll get this into the hands of Austin. He's going to have the first down. So they convert on third down with a pickup of 9.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Red zone now. He'll drop to throw. And he's close to another first down. It's brought down just shy of the marker. Now a timeout signal for him, and they'll get it with 10 seconds until the break. A good spot here, second and a yard.
Here we go, Shaq.
Back to the air one more time. Metcalf hauls in that one. And he will get into the end zone. DK Metcalf. Touchdown Steelers.
You know, we spend so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the fourth quarter in 2-minute mode. Well, let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here going into halftime changes this entire game.
Boswell now for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Steelers will take a 21-7 lead.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So, still the matter of 6 seconds remaining in this half. And the kick's away. Price now to return it. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room. Halftime coming up. We'll get you now to Scott Hanson and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. The first couple of weeks of the regular season were wild, to say the least. What about week 3? Let's jump in. Our look around the NFL starts now. In the Pacific Northwest, the Seahawks at home to take on the Cardinals in the NFC West. And it's the always dangerous Kyler Murray Drops back, doesn't like what he sees, decides to tuck it and run, and he can do this, and he does it. From there, how about we head out to Buffalo? Let's check in on the Bills. They're playing host to the Las Vegas Raiders. And it's the veteran Deontay Johnson. He's one of the 4 verticals on this route, and it's a deep shot. They connect. This is going to wind up as an 85-yard catch and run for the touchdown. Last but not least, let's go to Baltimore. The Ravens hosting the Jacksonville Jags. And here comes Derrick Henry. Spots an opening, capitalizes on it, 15 yards for the touchdown. The Ravens lead it by a touchdown at the half. With that, a look at the rest of the scores here in a busy week number 3. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been back and forth to this point. No reason to expect anything different in the second half, as we get you back out to the second half and rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Here's a handoff to Waller. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
And this is just more of the same, picking up exactly where he left off in the first half. And these numbers, Mike, as you see them, they just pop out at you. I mean, he has been the driving force of this offense from the very start.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal, 18.
Throwing now on first and 10. That one just too far out in front. And it's incomplete. DK Metcalf was the intended target. And that will lead to a second down. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Quick throw, taken in. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Go! Cougar 19 tight, 19 tight.
Back to throw. Quick throw here is complete. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively. And now, decision time. What are you going to do on fourth down? He'll drop to throw. That is incomplete. Oh, they elected to throw on fourth and short. It does not work out. They turn it over on down.
Here we go. Cougar 19.
As Stewart on first down. defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
And it's going to be first and goal coming up. Tackle made at the 5-yard line. From the guns, it's Sanders. And this one caught along the sideline. They say already out of bounds. Wow. Throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, so it'll be no catch and second down.
Let's go. Check.
Here's Sanders to throw. Here's a screen taken in by Algier. And he'll take this one in. Tyler Algier. Touchdown Browns. It's his second touchdown of the year. The extra point by Gay is good. And the Browns draw closer here. It's 21-14. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kicks away. It's a return. Here comes Calvin Austin. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Steelers offense and their running back, Jaylen Warren, set to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with first and 10. Play action, he'll set up to throw. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, and it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
Seems like there was some miscommunication that time. They clearly weren't on the same page. That's something that they've got to get on the sideline and get corrected as soon as possible, because I think they just missed out on what could have been a big play.
And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 13. That's a Steeler first down.
At the 38-yard line.
Let's go. 70 Lions.
They'll stay on the ground with Warren. This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain. Second and 10.
At the 38-yard line.
He'll look to throw. They'll try to set up the screen here. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Another great throw, and that's been the story as you check out these numbers. I mean, he has done everything this team has asked of him and more.
At the 39-yard line.
From the 39, here's a first and 10. On the handoff, it's Johnson. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Defensive coaches preach every day, Mike, swarm to the ball. Get as many hacks to the ball carrier as possible. And this is a great reason why. The ball carrier is able to make the first guy miss, but it was the pursuit from the rest of the defense that's able to get him down and keep him to no gain.
And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. It's going to be third. They need one.
Third and 1.
Hawk 70.
They'll look to throw. He's got his tight end. That's Freiermuth. And he's into the end zone. That's Freiermuth. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That is yet another touchdown. As what a game he is having, throwing his fourth touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his
got it. And the Steelers have doubled their advantage. It is now a 28-14 game.
Browns 14. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Price now to return it. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Browns offense ready to see what they can do. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with first down.
Alert! Alert! Deputy!
They'll start on the ground with Algier. And he'll get about 5 past the 30-yard line. From 31. Here's second down and 4.
At the 31-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Sanders. Open man, Malik Washington. And they'll pick up the first down, a gain of about 4.
A gain of 4 yards. And the Browns first down.
Handoff, it's Algier. He'll get in behind his blockers, get forward for a pickup of 3. Deanna Benton there for the stop. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and 6. They'll go right back to Algier. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Here comes third and 6. Out of the gun, it's Sanders. And this ball incomplete on third down.
Washington.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the third quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive, but instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football.
At their own 23.
Steelers offense and their running back, Jalen Warren, set to take over once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and they've made him a real weapon in the passing game.
Here we go!
On the handoff, this is Warren. Not much there, maybe a yard.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
From the 24 now, here's second down and 9. Now they'll set up to throw. Over the middle, Metcalf has it. Get about 6 before he's taken down.
As we saw in the first half, Mike, the defense was really unable to do anything to slow him down. He put up some really big numbers there in the first 2 quarters. Now here in the second half, just doesn't look like they've made many adjustments in the attempt to slow him down.
They'll throw here on third and short. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's fourth down. Fourth down. They bring out Michael Palardy to punt. Now fair catch called, and he's going to take it out beyond the 25-yard line. The Browns offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with first and 10. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line.
A gain of 10 yards. First and 10.
So both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for first and 10. From the gun, it's Shador. Oh, trouble, and down he goes. The big veteran, Cameron Hayward, in there for the sack, worked his way through. It's a loss of 5. Now, Shador. A short one that is caught by Fannin. Was brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. Sanders will throw it. That's caught left side by Cooper. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. A big one there on 3rd down, good for 26 yards. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now, Sanders. He takes off.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
The 36-yard line.
They go play action with Sanders. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. They need to get to the 29 here, facing 3rd down.
Come on, come on. Hey.
To throw is Sanders. Open man left side. He's got it. And he will score. Game on. Tyler Algier. Touchdown Browns. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Now Gay for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Browns are back to within 7. It's 28-21. So, things are a little more interesting now. Back to a 1-score game as they kick it away. From the 6, here comes a return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting set for their next possession. Try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Now Warren. Into space. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Jalen Warren. Touchdown Steelers. That's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter, get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Boswell adds the extra point, and the Steelers will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now following the touchdown, back out to kick this one off. And that one is through the back of the end zone. It is a touchback. The Browns offense ready to take over possession of the football. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Algier. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. A gain of 14. Good for a quick 1st down. On the zone read, here's Sanders to keep it. And he maneuvers his way forward. A gain of 6.
And these are body blows on any defense. This quarterback has the ability to make guys miss and do a lot of damage in the run game. And that's a nice pickup there.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
Fix the Eagles! Fix the Eagles!
On the ground, here's Quinshawn Judkins. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1. 3rd and 5. Now it's Sanders. Open man, that's Duvernay. They get 12 yards on that pass. It's a Browns first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
That is not right side. That's Bennett. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Brings up second and 4 at the Steelers' 27-yard line.
Back to throw. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. T.J. Watt in there for a loss of 5 on the sack. And now it's third down. He'll take a shot here. Back to the end zone. And that ball led him too far. Maybe too wide. Out of bounds. Incomplete.
I think he predetermined that third down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field, and they are well on their way to making it 2 straight victories after the Week 1 loss as they begin here with a first and 10. He'll find some way to turn this into positive yardage, struggling forward for a pickup of about 2.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
He's going to air one out for Metcalf. And he's going to be dragged down, but not until he's inside the 25. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. 42 yards.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and plays like this just shows how special he can be.
He'll try again here. Second and 10.
The 23-yard line.
Let's go. 70 Lions. 70 Lions.
And that ball out of reach toward the sideline. It'll be an incompletion.
Brings up a third down.
So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
He's got Freiermuth open on the left side. The Browns going to use the first of their timeouts here as they'll discuss what's to come as fourth down is looming. Oswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Now to Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. They'll do so with first and 10.
Ready? Let's go now.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. And he'll wind up getting about 7 yards as he is forced out of bounds. From the 32-yard line now, here's second and 3. On second down, here's a run with Algier. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. You'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up third down.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's third down.
He'll try and run for this with Algier. Trying to drive his way forward. I'm not sure he got there. Going to depend on the mark, but yeah, he's short. Short, and it's fourth down.
Ready? 60 back.
They'll run for it. It's Algier. time, they'll look to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
And even though you're facing a big deficit, I still think this is the right decision. At some point, you do have to start forcing the ball to make something happen, but you can't be reckless. So I think this would have been more on the reckless side, and certainly a good decision. Maintain possession of the ball.
And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Sanders on third down. That is caught by Washington. They'll come up here, 1st and 10.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Browns, first down.
To throw again is Sanders. The ball's out. And fortunately, their center able to rein it in, and they'll retain possession. So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14.
Let's go now. Nice.
From the gun, it's Sanders. That complete to Algier.
Now, pass it.
It'll be taken down after a gain of 9 and 3rd down. I'm up.
3rd and 5.
Here's Sanders to throw. Now a deep ball toward the end zone. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback. They'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And that should be the final dagger in this one. I mean, barring something dramatic happening here, Mike, I just don't think there's enough time or possessions left in this game to pull off any sort of comeback.
They'll start this on the ground with Warren. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that one.
And he'll be taken down. We'll see if they want to use that final timeout or not, but things are pretty much spoken for. So this one in the win column for the Steelers. They get the home victory here in the division in the first of their 2 scheduled matchups. Have a chance to go for the season sweep on the road later in the season.